In 2005, the moderators of SeattlednBBQ got together and decided to host the first annual SeattlednBBQ in an effort to help rebuild the drum and bass community. It was a chance for people to get together outside of the club atmosphere, where you can actually hear a person's name when they told it to you. Name tags were required, and this helped a lot of people take a screen name that they've always seen and put it to a face. For others, this helped take the face they always saw in the club and was actually able to put it to a real name. The weather turned out good, and the attendance even better. It was a day of eats, beats, and a whole lot of fun. We even had some big name drum and bass heads in the house. Music was provided all day by local DJs. People gathered here, people gathered there. What did Chris Renegade say to E1? He said this, and it was heard many times throughout the night, whispered from person to person. Not everybody handled it too well. Some people passed out in chairs. Other people, they climbed on cars. Well, okay, a lot of people climbed on cars. But there's Carlos, it's his car, don't worry. Ken wound up in the toilet. These guys, they made it to the club. And this guy, well, he made it to the club, but that's about where it stops. So what do you do when something like this happens? You do it again a few months later. DnBBQ 2.0 was held in the same location, hosted by Rodimus and Jenny. Once again, the weather had turned out great, and even more people had shown up this time. Everybody brought a good attitude, food to grill up, and beer to drink if that was your thing. Local selectors provided the beats, and everybody else just got down and had a good time. In 2006, the SeattlednBBQs took place at the Lion's Den, which was the home of local drum and bass DJs Action and Rewind. The tradition of open decks early in the day continued. For the rest of the day, local DJs provided non-stop drum and bass. Elsewhere around the house, there was plenty of other things going on. Volleyball, water balloon fights, enough squirt guns to start a small army, more music, and people just hanging out. The DnBBQs would start at about 1 in the afternoon and oftentimes go until about 3 or 4 in the morning. The entire atmosphere of the day was about lounging, enjoying the weather, being around old friends and making some new friends, enjoying great food, and all of this was set to a drum and bass soundtrack. Everyone left knowing more people than when they came. This was about community, and this is what makes Seattle drum and bass special.
Shaking your boots, come back to the old school, back to your roots. Let me see you shaking your boots, come back to the old school, back to your roots. Let me see you shaking your boots, come back to the old school, back to your roots. Let me see you shaking your boots, come back to the old school, back to your roots. Let me see you shaking your boots, come back.
Cause you want somebody to rock to move with that the sound and pop and be the sound. But we can live just be with the cup. Say like, be the Russian cause we got it repetition. They don't hold it at the sound that moving through the yard. Then let's get on move.
In late 2004, going into 2005, Polyrythm and Bassline Agency, founded by Seattle DJ Joanna Size, along with Seattle producer TZA, teamed up with Onset to bring in a series of all-ages drum and bass events, some of which featured producers Seattle had yet to see. Polyrythm and Onset also teamed up to bring out Clue for a very rare Seattle appearance, and it was definitely a treat. In 2005, things started to get really heavy when the groups brought out Raiden for his first ever Seattle appearance. 3 short weeks after that, they brought out the Renegade Hardware 10-year anniversary tour with Chris Renegade, Vicious Circle, along with Nick of Evil Intent and E1, plus a plethora of local selectors. As if that wasn't enough, Cause for Concern made another rare Seattle appearance. 2005 was definitely the year for all-ages drum and bass. 2005 and the 21 and up crowd saw the return of UK legend Goldie along with MC Armani. The different thing this time was the location. Lo-Fi down on Eastlake started to get into the game of drum and bass and hosted a series of one-off events as well as some fresh weeklies. Zero Street Crew was holding down every other Sundays at Lo-Fi. Rama brought in a new night featuring raga and classic jungle called Bashment, something that the city was longing for and was well received. Logical Audio was another group of new Seattle DJs taking advantage of lo-fi and their new drum and bass policy. Logical Audio split every other Sunday with the Zero Street Crew. System was another group on the come-up in 2005, this time starting a Monday night and taking advantage of a previously unused spot, Juan O'Reilly's. They eventually went on to form a lot of one-off events focusing more on the liquid side of drum and bass. Local DnB selector Emu was hosting Holler Wednesdays drum and bass. Kid Hops continued to bring in some of the finest world-class talent for one-off events at Chop Suey. Seattle had its fair share of drum and bass, and people were looking for something different. In 2005, the 360 BPM crew and Kid Hops started LSC Thursdays, Seattle's first liquid drum and bass night. Together they brought in some of the world's finest talent that the liquid drum and bass had to offer. The smooth sounds and the rolling drums brought a whole new crowd into the drum and bass fold. At a time when Seattle was looking for more heads, LSC Thursday definitely delivered. Doing a liquid night in a city known for liking it hard and fast was taking a big risk. But DJ Kid Hops has been doing this for a long time and is truly one of the pioneers for Seattle liquid drum and bass. Wavelength Wednesdays was run by Olcyrus and Complex, and they decided to have a little bit of fun with running their own weekly and broke most of the established rules along the way. The first thing they did was create 2 monthlies, Compound Monthly with Slantooth, Olcyrus, MC Specialists and guests, as well as Quantum Mechanics Monthly with Tremor, Jay West, and guests. Wavelength Wednesdays and Quantum Mechanics offered Seattle the first and only Neuro Monthly. Wavelength set out to bring in new DJs and to expose some of the underrated talent in the city. This meant plenty of fresh faces and friendly, excited people all around. Cover charge was $3, but that included your first drink free. And that meant any drink. For those who have had the blue drink, which is most of the people who attended, only you can fully understand the popularity of that drink phenomenon. Naughty Night. The guys went all out for this one with blow-up dolls, both male and female. There was bad 70s porn playing on the TV in the corner all night. Every table had condoms and lube spread about. Someone gave Kai a whip. Complex had the cheap Chinese whorehouse incense, and for the clincher, there was Pin the Boobs on the Babe. Partying all night while listening to loud music and playing Pin the Boobs on the Babe is an experience everyone should have. Music for the evening was provided by Complex, Olcyrus, and the Dows. Another way Wavelength Wednesdays went off the chart was by throwing its CDs night. 10 DJs would be booked to play, and all of the 10 DJs would bring at least 10 demo CDs to give away. These were the days before iPods. It was a great chance for DJs to get exposure and to spread their sounds to the other SDnB heads. Toss in the every other month open decks and the other theme nights, and you can see why Wavelength Wednesdays help relift the Seattle drum and bass community. New venues for all-age events were also being found. This one was held at the Science Fiction Museum in Seattle, which hosts loads of memorabilia from science fiction's past. Zacharia of the 360 BPM crew had once again partnered up with Rob Noble of KBT to bring out Breakage on its debut American tour. A brand new venue with unimaginable surroundings and a DJ that Seattle has yet to witness created an electric atmosphere that was felt from everybody in the building.
That was really just, that started off as like relationships, man. Really just rinse and flux, man. You know, Sean and Evan, they were the hard hitters of the Bay Area, you know, and then, you know, you had at that time the hard hitters of Seattle, you know. So what it was is just relationships, man. You know, we brought them up here and we got we all got relationships. They became homies, man, fam, basically. And, you know, they ended up starting Compound San Francisco in 1998. And basically, to fast forward a little bit, just right around 2000, you know, what happened was Rince moved up here, and Evan and Marcus kind of got together on Compound Seattle, and I was the manager in the joint, really. That's really how the whole relationship started. You know, a couple years later, those guys decided to you know, to pull out. You know, they weren't really feeling the business at the time. So I was lucky enough to be in a position where, you know, I could purchase that business from them. You know, that's all I really ever wanted, man, was a little skate shop and a little record store. And had that for a little bit, man, you know, and had to close the store, unfortunately, but we kept the name going, man. We got the crew, you know what I'm saying? We got Olcyrus from all the way back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying? We got ECM, man. You know what I'm saying? The newest member, man, but it's holding it down. The crew is, man, it's tight.
The talent, the thing that drew me into drum and bass was it was fast, kind of like punk rock, kind of like what I had been into before. You know, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And the two guys I really gravitated to style-wise were Zacharia and Slantooth. And, you know, Slantooth is Slantooth. There is no other Slantooth, man. That guy is him, and that's why he's been around and DJing for so long, and everybody's still excited to go see Slantooth. So I was lucky enough, at that point, I was unemployed, I was living on Capitol Hill, and he had a weekly radio slot, 2 to 4, every Tuesday at Groove Tech Radio. And I would go up there, and I'd sit in this little-ass studio every Tuesday and listen to him play records for an hour, 2 hours. So it was really that brought me into Compound. You know, it was more of having that role model or that influence, and then to kind of be asked to be part of that was huge for me, because, you know, that was the goal. That was acceptance. You know, the guy who you want to be like says you're down. So I was pretty stoked. Then that was Compound, and we've rolled with it ever since. And this is what we want to do. And being involved, there's not a better group of people to be playing with stylistically for me. Compound crew is my home. And, you know, that's why I'm excited. It's a great group of guys.
This is me. This is DJ ECM representing Compound crew. The way I got involved with Compound Records was I was always attracted to metalheads, you know what I'm saying? Virus, Hospital, things like that. So those were always the beats that I was into as far as what I wanted to play. Total Science, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I've always been a big fan of Slantooth. He was like my favorite local DJ here in Seattle, you know what I mean? And he approached me one night and said, hey man, I like your set that night. And I was kind of blown away, you know what I'm saying? Just because that's like your favorite DJ coming up to you and saying, yo man, you're sick. So that was cool. He asked me to be involved a different night, and I became involved. And the reason I'm really inspired to be a part of Compound is because when you push drum and bass forward, you know what I mean? When we go out there and you hear one of us playing a set, you're gonna hear the things that got me so excited in the first place about it. You're gonna hear the deep vibes, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear the music change and progress, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna hear soul samples, you're gonna hear house samples, you're gonna hear dirty bass lines, you're gonna hear smooth bass lines, you're gonna hear all of it, you know what I'm saying? And that's why it's called Compound Records, because we take all drum and bass, compound it, so that the listener, so the dancer, you guys can hear and feel what drum and bass is all about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right, cool.
We want to create an environment where when you come and listen to drum and bass, no matter who you are, we're looking for people that don't even know what drum and bass is yet right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're gonna come. It's gonna be like back in the day when you came and you heard all these tracks and you were like, holy shit, you were floored. And you couldn't wait until next week just to hear the beats. That's why you're coming, is because you're about to hear some beats, some fat beats. You're gonna hear some beats that you haven't heard in 10 years, and you're gonna hear some beats that you haven't heard yet. So that's why I'm excited about Compound, and we're gonna expand outside of Seattle.
Yeah, it's diversity, and it's just that all around, like Mike was saying, it's that all around drum and bass experience. You're not going to go and just get slammer after slammer. We're not playing for the top 40 crowd, you know. It's the essence of drum and bass, man. It's the music, and these guys, you know, that's what we embody.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, I got 2 crew members that I feel are very similar to me, which is, I think, pretty fucking hard to, I'm not saying I'm like crazy in style, all styles, whatevs, but you know, my style, you know what I'm saying? Our crew is, we all got the same style, man, and that's just to get the music out, really, you know what I'm saying? And that's as far as like all of drum and bass is concerned, because we like drum and bass. Exactly. That's Compound Crew, man. 2012, man, we're coming at you.
And that's what's going down, man, for real.
It's all good. This is it. Vibes. Bass. Vibes.
22 tons.
22.
Oh yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah.